back to the All Things Plastics podcast. Today's guest is the definition of beauty, boldness. With over 75,000 followers, Rachel is a 28-year-old social media star, using her platform to serve up a daily cocktail of beauty, humor, and plastic surgery realness. Born in Mississippi, living in Florida, and keeping it 100 with every post, Rachel does not gatekeep a thing. Over the past 3 years, she's taken us on her personal transformation journey with procedures done in Brazil. We're talking jaw implants, chin shaving, buccal fat pad reduction, PDO threads, Botox fillers, basically the usual snatchery. And get this, her husband's in on the glow up too and totally supportive. So get ready for an exciting episode and welcome to the podcast, Rachel Rosette.
So excited to be here. This is so much fun. I have seen your page before and I just think, oh my gosh, I love hearing people talk about plastic from people who actually know about plastic. So it's nice.
And when I came across your page, I was so interested. Like, I was just watching every video. I was like, she is gorgeous. I love her aesthetic. And you're so open about your plastic surgery journey and the comebacks to the haters. I'm living for it, girl.
You know, I've never really understood why people keep it such a big secret. And I think because there's this huge taboo and I don't get it. I have so many people online being like, oh my gosh, you must be so insecure to do that. I'm like, bitch, if I was insecure, I wouldn't be posting about doing it. So
exactly.
So weird.
They're so weird. Their mindset is so old school mentality. And it's just, I'm so excited for everyone to hear your journey, hear your story. And you look so cute right now. The pink, the floral, it's giving spring. It's giving a hot girl. I love it.
You're sweet. Honestly, I actually got this, which is probably weird because it's like a lingerie top, but I got it at like a thrift store, like the Goodwill. It was actually, I think it was my husband who found it. He's like, Rachel, come here. It was like this cute little corset. I'm like,
I love it.
I married him because he
takes me
to the Goodwill, like finds this stuff out of the trash.
Well, let's start from the top. Who is Rachel Rosette in your own words? Where are you from? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? Give us a little insight on who you are and your background.
Rachel Rosette is mentally disturbed. That too, but I'm from Mississippi, but I live in Florida. We were talking about LA. I went to UCLA. And then I spent some time at BYU, and now I'm down in Orlando, married to the most amazing guy on the planet who's just as obsessed with plastic surgery as me. So that makes a really good pairing. And no kiddos yet, but 2 dogs that are very much adorable and all that we could handle right now.
Now, growing up in Mississippi, that has to be such a crazy different world from like UCLA, Los Angeles, or even Miami. Like, such a difference. And where you are today as a content creator, like, did you even think any of this was possible? Like, did you see yourself being this huge social media star?
Yes. Well, okay. I've been a fame whore since I was a child. Okay. I remember when Hannah Montana first came on and I pointed to my mom and I'm like, that's going to be me. I will be that bitch. And so I actually had a super supportive mom. She put me into like theater and music. And so like my whole life, I've been very obnoxious, very performative, which most people find very irritating. But I've honestly been like that my whole life. And so I love being able to come to social media and find a bunch of other people who are just as, you know, like sick in the head about plastic. So it's nice.
Yeah. And when did you move from Mississippi to go to school?
So I started going out to LA because I wanted to be a star when I was like 14 or 15. So I spent my time there up until I went to college there at UCLA. And then I went to UCLA for 2 years. And then I ended up transferring to BYU to finish in Utah because it was cheaper.
Okay.
And then I met my husband there. And then we were like, fuck Utah. And then we decided to move to Orlando.
All the Mormons. I mean, no shame on Mormons, but
no, it's that's the thing. We were both Mormon, and that's like how we met. We had both served missions, and then we both left, and then so that's when kind of started that whole thing, right? And I think too the Mormon culture is also very much about like attaining perfection, right? Now that's not necessarily meant to transfer into the physical, but it does. Like the moms are hot as fuck because they have these.
I was just going to say, we need to get you on Mormon Wives stat next season.
I'm obsessed with that show because that extremely is what it is, because they have babies at 19, which is why they have like 3 kids. And you're like, how are you this fucking hot? It's like, well, I got married at 17, basically.
Yeah.
So they have all these kids and they have these hot bodies and they have all these plastic surgeons. And so people don't often like think about like Mormon and like, oh, like wanting to be beautiful plastic surgery, but like it's a huge thing in
It's
Utah.
huge. And they're all the Mormon wives are so hot, great hair, great teeth,
I know.
great bodies. I'm like, what is in the Utah water?
Wig. It's just soda and that's it. And honestly, to be fair, I know not everybody like follows all the rules the same way, but typically if you're like a pretty devout Mormon, you don't drink. And so I think a lot of it is like people who like, they're not drinking much, they're not looking bloated, they're not looking hungover and gross. Like they take relatively good care of themselves. And so I think that's a big part of it.
And they're not even able to drink coffee, I saw on the show, or they're not supposed to. And I was like, I would literally die.
Can I tell you the very first time I had coffee? So I've been constipated like my whole life. And the second I had coffee, I was like, oh my God, if I had just had coffee, I would not have IBS. And so coffee's changed my life. It's a game changer. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't ever have coffee. I couldn't imagine my life without it now, you know?
Yes, yes. So fascinating. And what first inspired you to start sharing your journey online? Did you get on social media and just, you know, become an influencer first and then started sharing your plastic surgery journey? Or what was that process like for you?
No, it was super random because I got to the point after I like had tried to go out and become a star or some shit in LA as a teenager, I'd kind of closed the door. I was like, look, if it was going to happen, it's going to happen. Like by the time I was in college, I was like, those are childish things. Like, let me get married, let me have kids, let me go live a normal life. So that was like the trajectory of everything, right? And then I just posted just this stupid little video. Had I even had plastic yet? I don't even know if I'd had plastic yet. I can't remember, but I just made like this snarky Instagram, I don't know, for whatever reason. And like, it really blew up overnight. I didn't really understand why. But then I was like, oh my gosh, like people, they do think I'm funny. Oh my gosh, maybe I could actually still get some kind of a, you know, somebody like me or somebody like my content. So I think it just started from there. And then of course I think that this is with everybody who works on camera, whether you like are in sales or you do like probably your line of work as well, when you're working in aesthetics, that you're like, wow, all you do is look at your face on camera all day and you're like, fuck, I'm ugly. Or like these things that maybe you don't
wait, do I really look like that? My Botox is fading out?
No, actually, so I actually tried to get my Botox this morning and they're closed on Saturday because I was like, no, like I'm getting like
movement.
I know, it's like I can't, like I look extra psychotic. So I think that like started it all, is I just would start looking at myself on camera a lot and I'm like, wow, is that actually the reality? Which I know isn't, like, everybody's hard on themselves, right?
Of course. And we're our biggest critics.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think just that part was like, wow, like, yeah, maybe I'm not as hot as I thought I was. Maybe I should probably start tweaking something. So initially just like started out like that.
Some little aesthetic procedures and then the journey grew.
Yeah, I think the very first thing I ever did was like a little bit of lip filler. It was like 0.5 milliliters. I was like, this has changed the game. Because I had like, you know, the lips are kind of like this. So once I got some lip filler, I was like, I'm a new fucking person. I look amazing.
I feel like lip filler just starts it off for the girls. They get a little bit of lip filler, a little bit of Botox, and then it's like boom, 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 boom.
You don't even realize how much your lips make a difference until you go back and look at old photos and you're like, oh my gosh, I was hideous. Like, it's just nice to have. And I actually ended up dissolving some of my lip filler a couple months ago because I gotten a little crazy. It had gotten a little bit ducky, I'm not going to lie. So I've scaled back a little, but I still have like 1 ml in the top lip and it's like just enough to like.
No, they look great. You got a good pout going on. I love it.
That's the goal. So then, and then the Botox started. And then I don't know, tell me if this is true or not. I feel like as I started getting Botox, my wrinkles started getting worse. And I was like, is this in the Botox or do I just notice it now that I don't ever have the movement there?
Yes, you know, same with me, girl. One, we're getting older, right? I started getting Botox like 5-6 years ago. Obviously, we're going to have more wrinkles as we get older. But you notice it when you're so on getting that Botox every 3 to 5 months. When the smallest amount of movement comes back, you're like, you're so focused hyper focused on it more that it's like you're noticing every single line.
I know. I'm like,
So
I'd never had crow's feet in my life, in my life. And then like about a year ago, she started injecting here, and I was like, nice, cool. She's like, it's preventative. And now all of a sudden it's wearing off. I'm like, where did that come from? I'm like,
and
what?
people like you're so theatric, you're so out there. People with a lot of facial movements that you get more wrinkles too. So that
I gotta
as
stop
well.
that.
No.
Yeah, boring bitch.
No. But so let's talk about your very first procedure, plastic surgery wise, no aesthetics. What did you get done and how long ago and where?
So I got jaw implants actually about 3 years ago in Brazil. Now, here's the thing. The reason I did it is because I had slash still have like a very flaccid jawline. Like I'm not snatched, and I even have filler in right now, but like
Uh-huh. I
that
see it.
thing,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's not a great side profile. And this is crazy because I had never even in my life gotten fillers before at that point in my jaw. But my husband was actually looking into getting jaw implants, and he's like, why don't you do it too? Like, because it's like, well, why would you get filler forever and ever and ever? If you're going to do it, just like get implants and do it once. I'm like, there's a point there. Save money in the long run, look good. But the biggest mistake is I had never gotten jaw filler. So like I didn't even really realize what it would look like. And the implants
Yeah.
were pretty, I mean, I was looking a lot like SpongeBob, to be honest. It was
Stop.
pretty, it's horrible. I looked like a square. It was
Yeah,
not
I feel like
cute.
it's so intense.
It is. And especially because I was just not used to myself like that. And
Mm-hmm.
like when I look back at photos, like it's not too bad. I mean, it's still pretty disturbing, but like to the extent that the dysmorphia had creeped in at that point, it was
Yeah.
horrendous because like it really does change. It was a very masculine appearance. And
Yeah,
I
such a
wanted a
strong
very,
jawline.
so it was not a vibe at all. I'm like, I'd
And
rather look
what?
a little flatulent from the side.
Yeah. And you still have a good jawline without the implants,
Well, there's a lot of filler caked up in there, and
but it's
I need to
working.
what should I do about like this thing here?
Ooh,
Like
Morpheus,
Morpheus 8?
girl.
I knew
Morpheus.
everyone's been saying it.
Morpheus 8. You could do it on your abdomen, your thighs, your face. Jasmine did a treatment for me last year and she did it and it was so good. I was like, I need to go back again. How soon can I go back after this?
Cause I wanted like, I'm like, how do I snatch this area without having to add shit?
I mean, you could do like chin lipo, but I'm not a fan of chin lipo. And it's like you need excessive amounts of fat in the area, which you do not have. So I would just go Morpheus 8, that area, your under chin.
Because what I feel so weird, like I think it's a lot of like laxity. Like my
It
skin
is.
is super flaccid. I always has like all over my whole body. It's very like, it's not very, so yeah, good to know. Morpheus 8, I've been thinking about
Morpheus 8, do it. Super good. Add it to your list. Now, what the heck made you go to Brazil? Out of all places, Brazil. That is scary as hell.
I know. Here's the thing. I would have never, ever, ever thought of it. Because you think of plastic surgery and people think about, well, it used to be Mexico. Now it's Turkey. But I remember like back like 10 years ago, it was like everyone's going to like, not Guadalajara. Where's the place everybody was going to? Tijuana. Everyone's going to Tijuana.
Tijuana, Mexico.
Exactly. Yeah. So everyone is going to Tijuana. I was like, well, I don't know that I'd ever do that, but plastic surgery.
So you chose Brazil?
Yeah, I chose Brazil, but here's the reason. There's a good backstory. I would not just select a random country and just be like, I like how, because Brazilians are hot as fuck. I'll say that. So it's not just like, you guys are hot. I'm going to go there.
That's what the last girl I interviewed, Emily, love her, sweet soul. She's like, I was on a trip and the girls in Turkey were getting off their yachts and they were so hot and I want to be like her. And she got her face done in Turkey. And I was like, Emily, but she looks fabulous and it worked out. But I'm like, tell us your Brazil story.
That is very me coded. Like that just sounds like something that I would do. Just get off in a country. Like you guys are hot. What doctor do you use to get this specific nose? I want that. But my husband's actually Brazilian and his whole family lives here. And in Brazil, plastic surgery is humongous. Like the way it's so taboo in the US. In Brazil, like everybody has a boob job.
Brazil's almost like Colombia, right? Like huge plastic surgery scene.
Massive plastic surgery scene. And so not only is the currency very favorable, because at that point, it's even more now, but it's like $1 is like 5 Brazilian dollars. So basically like 1/5 of the price of everything.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm like, well, damn, that's cheap. Number two, it's super trusted here because everybody does it. You know, his whole family's done plastic surgery. And so it just was like you could find, and also with the currency, you can find the best of the best doctors because you're not like, let me get a deal. Let me find who the surgeon on Groupon. It's like, because of the currency, it's like, okay, I actually can work with the best of the best because, you know, I can afford to in Brazil, whereas in LA, like, forget about it.
It's a freaking leg and a kidney to get anything done over here.
Which, to be fair, if they would trade, if they were like sucking out my lipo, like, you want to take a kidney, take a spleen, take a liver, I don't care. It won't make me look better. Won't snatch my waist. Take whatever organs you want.
Dead.
Like, as long as if this is the situation we got to do, listen, I do it in a heartbeat.
My goodness. And what did you end up? So you got the jaw done, right?
I got the jaw done.
Okay. How much did that cost? And did everything go smooth? No complications? Like, we know you took them out, but everything went well on that end?
Yeah, there were no like health complications or anything. And it ended up being around, so I think for the jaw implants alone was like dollars, like US dollars.
Really reasonable.
Yeah, for jaw implants. And then what he also did was he shaved my chin down. So I actually used to have a very masculine chin. It was like more squared off. And then he also shaved to have a little bit more of like the V shape. And so honestly, everything went well. Like the surgeries were really smooth. I didn't have any complications. It was just the aesthetics afterward. I was just like, I just look really freaky. It just looked super
such a big change at once. And yeah, that's hard.
And the chin, I have to say, like, the two best things I've ever done would be like shaving my chin, like this area here to look more like a V, and buccal fat pad reduction. Like,
yes, everyone is raving about the buccal fat.
I know, and everyone's like, you're gonna regret it when you're old. I'm like, fuck, when I'm old, I'll just get another facelift. Like, why am I trying to sacrifice being hot now? Like, when you're 60. Yeah, I don't care. I'm imagining I'll look very different at 60. So I'm not worried about it.
Prime time is now.
I know, like, when will I ever like be this hot again? I won't. My skin is as young as it's gonna get. The recovery is as good as it's gonna get right now.
When did you decide you wanted to take out the jaw implants? Like, was it a year later? A month?
Was about, I mean, I hated it immediately.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it's swelling, let it go down. So like 3 months went by, still didn't love it. 6 months went by. I'm like, whoa. And then I think I got them removed at about the year mark. And I was like, yeah, this is gotta go. And I felt bad for the surgeon. I was like,
I know, I was gonna say, like, coming back, were you like, hi?
I know.
Well, take this shit out.
I know. Like, hi, I look like a dude. Take it out. But here's the thing, because my husband got them and he looks amazing. Like, he looks so fucking hot. Like, it was great on him because that's what he wanted, was to look, you know, like sharper. And I'm like, I thought that I wanted that, but it was just too much. Like, they were just too big.
Yeah. Now, did your surgeon still charge you to take them out? Or was he like, just pay the anesthesia fee?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I know that I paid for the fees, but I didn't think he charged like a removal, but I did still have to pay for like the hospital and
the OR time and all that.
Yeah.
And did you go, when you went back to take them out, is that when you got your buccal fat? Or when did you go back to get your buccal?
I got all 3 of them at the same time.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Why everything probably looked really bizarre to me because it was like 3 big changes at one time. And it was weird because like this part of my face, I was like, yes, in love, amazing. And it was just like the hair that I was like, what the fuck? But because I'm somebody who I gain all my weight in my face. Like you can see in my face, even still now after getting it reduced, reducted, like I still will gain weight in my face, but I used to look like a moon. So it really, like, I recommend it for anybody.
Love that. And you said your husband also has had plastic surgery and is super supportive. How did those combos start? Like, was he like, I want a more masculine, defined look? And you were like, yeah, let's do it. Or was it you first? Like, tell us how that conversation started.
I thought that he was like insane because when I first met him, I honestly just thought he was like the hottest person I'd ever seen. He was the only person that I ever actually like started dating solely because I thought that they were hot. I was like, I don't do that. I was like, I'm not going to date this guy. I literally just want to like eat his face because like he was hot. And that was like the only reason I was interested at first. And so like the fact that he ever wanted to change anything, I'm like, are you psychotic? Like, are you as mentally ill as I am? Because what are you trying to change? You look perfect. And so it'd just be tiny discussions like, oh, like, yeah, I like don't totally love my nose. Be like, yeah. So like little by little, be like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, that's so dumb. Then he's like, I'm looking at somebody. I'm like, no, that's stupid. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, actually, it looks kind of good. I'm just thinking about it. No, you don't. Oh yeah, no, actually, I can see it. Yeah, you should definitely go get that done. And so
Yeah.
it started out actually with him, and then seeing him be so open about it, I was like, well, shit, I want to do that too. Like, I
Yeah.
should
And
be that open about it.
that's so great for a man, especially men like, maybe they want to fix their teeth or they want to fix their nose or they want a little bit of lipo, like whatever. It's so much harder for them to come out about it because it's like only girls do that. Only superficial people do that. Only, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I love that he was already like, no, I want to actually fix this. So like maybe let's do something about it.
I just think it's so cultural here because even guys in Brazil that are like, super, super mask, never
Uh-huh.
they'll do the Botox and like
Yeah.
they'll get a nose job or like one of his friends got his ears pinned back. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and he's this guy who you'd never think like most normal, like average dude. And I'm like, even he had plastic surgery. So I think here it's just like, yeah, it bothers me. I'm going to do it. And so I
Yeah.
think that's why people don't care.
And my husband, he's Mexican and Salvadorian, and he is in the military. He's in the army, and he broke his nose twice back in the day. And he also has a deviated septum, so he gets a lot of nosebleeds. And he was like, "The army will pay for it. They'll fix my nose. They'll fix the septum." And I'm like, your nose is like veering to the left, honey. I'm like, I know a couple surgeons. I was like, we can fix the broken nose, we can fix the deviated septum, and we can shave a little off the top. He's like, well, what are the guys going to think when I come back? I'm like, we're not changing the whole structure. We're just lining it up so it's centered and we're taking off a little hump. Like it's minimal. We're not going drastic. And we were talking in front of one of his buddies who's also in the military. He's like, dang, you're going to get your nose done. He's like, I want to get mine too. And it's like, it started the conversation.
Because I think if men were really honest about it with themselves, of course, every human being on the planet, like whether you're he, she, they, whatever, everybody feels the same way, I think, about how they want to look. And I think I hate that there's like the toxic masculinity or this thing of even like women hating on each other. And it's like, I think all of us have things that we want to change about ourselves. And so I think people being more accepting, that's honestly why I started posting about it, because I couldn't find many girls that were like that honest about the experience. And I'm like, I don't get it. And like, it's always the joke about celebrities being like, I've never had Botox. It's like, bitch.
Or J-Lo with her little
That's who.
She has her ponytail facelift. I won't confirm or deny, but
no, that's exactly who I was thinking of, because I'm like, honey, listen, your skin's amazing. Yes, I know you have the amazing genetics, but there's a line between amazing genetics and your face doesn't move.
And she did. I mean, when people ask her, did you get a full facelift? She's like, no, but it's true. She didn't get a full facelift. She just got a mini weekend ponytail facelift where it's only a certain area that just brings it back.
Which is actually, talking of Turkey, I'm actually going to Turkey in a few months to get the little cat eye surgery, because that's something I've always wanted. And I think the side of my eyes need a little lift.
Emily she didn't just get them, but we were just talking. She's 28 and she got a mid facelift because she wanted like that snatched cat eye look. And she's like, I didn't want to do threads, so I just got the mini facelift. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, because listen, I got threads because I thought the same thing. And for like a week, I looked amazing. And that 1 week of my life, I felt so hot. And then, like, pretty soon after, it was like you could see the results just kind
I thought the threads were supposed to last you like a good 1 to 3 years. Am I wrong?
They stay in the body like 1 to 3 years, but the very intense is just a temporary thing. And then they start dissolving, because that's what I thought too. I'm like, this is amazing. And so right after you apply, they stay like that just because they were just inserted. But as they start getting into the skin, within like a month,
it was gone?
Totally normal again.
And
I was so disappointed.
They're expensive.
Yeah, and painful. Like, even though they do the local anesthesia, you still feel some of that shit.
You still
like
feel it.
yanking on your head. And so it was not worth it. And so that's when I decided, like, yeah, I'm actually gonna. And I also have very like kind of hooded eyes. Like, I want a more,
lifted.
Some of that. A more
girl, get an upper breath while you're out there.
Well, I just love to do everything for sure. It would be amazing. It's like all that money you put into like saving to like, for other things, you're like, maybe I should just blow all my savings and just do my whole body. Like, why
No,
not?
no, no.
Who needs a house? Who needs a down payment when you could have new tits and
Oh my
live off
gosh.
these babies? That's a roof to sleep under. This is the only roof you need. Just lay
Very
right
true.
here.
Very true. I love that. And you are not scared to go abroad, like to Brazil. Now you're about to go to Turkey in a couple months. You're not like, holy shit, like shitting bricks going over there?
Like, if these people don't actually have like a lot of presence online and they're not reviewed and they're not like board certified, hell no. Like, I'm not just gonna go like walking down the street and being like, that person looks like they're probably reliable. I still do a lot of research, right, to make
Good.
sure that they're reputable. And like, I even reached out to a lot of people on Instagram and been like, hey, I saw you like tagged here. Do you actually like the results? Like, what was it
Love that.
like? And that way you just are like, okay, so no, they're not going to actually harvest my organs, which again, if they do it for free, I would offer, but they're like legitimate people. So it feels better.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love when you girls are so educated about still researching and not being very impulsive and asking around. And I love the DMing girls that were tagged on the page because that will give you like the true like story for
It's just
sure.
so sad. It was like, I think especially with the BBLs, like the last couple years, just all the stories about people going abroad for BBLs and they die. And it's like, girl, was an ass worth it? I mean, maybe, but like
Yeah.
probably not. And so those are the things that are so sad because it's like, you know, if it's not a reputable person, like this, like the photos they've shown of like 5 different patients out on the table and it's like just some like aide who's doing so much of the stuff and there's like no glove, like it just like gives me the
Yes,
heebie-jeebies.
crazy. And that's the scariest thing. You know, a lot of people practice in the States, doctors practice in the States, and then they go to Turkey or they go to Mexico or the Colombia for their practice because they make way more money, right? Less fees, less anesthesia fees.
Right.
And so, yeah, the only thing that is scary is their standards of practice in other countries are the requirements for the anesthesia machine or the facility or the meds that they have on stock. Like that's the only difference is their sanitary levels, you know, are things getting cleaned thoroughly? Are you sanitizing your instruments? That's the only thing that worries me. The surgeon and the anesthesiologist can be great, but the facility and the standards itself just scare me a little bit.
Yeah, even when I went to go have one of the procedures done, which I think is actually normal for a lot of people, but sometimes it's not even a real doctor, it's like a dentist. And so they'll like put people to sleep in like the dental chair. And I'm like, that seems a little weird because you're like just walking into like a dentist office and they're like, hey, good night. You're like, is this normal? Is this like how we do it? So it's, you know, even sometimes here, it's like, it seems a little sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the most important
The
thing.
in-office procedures with like local anesthesia or laughing gas or
No.
it's a little scary, but those, you know, there's fewer complications. That's why they're able to do them outside of the operating room. But
Like
still,
the lip lift. I've seen a lot of people who can do it like in the dentist office with local anesthesia, right? The lip
yeah,
lift, and they do that, and which I was gonna do, and then I realized the scarring's really bad, and then I was like,
it is.
I
Oof.
shouldn't.
I got offered, I just went to a new injector like 3 months ago and I got my Botox and they were like, you go over a certain amount of units, you get a free lip lift. And I was just like,
Really?
no, I was scared. I was like, I have not, because once you touch your lips, you got to keep touching them. Like you can't just, I guess you could just touch them and let them go, but then you're either going to want to like maintain it or you're going to want to add or you're going to want to take away. So I don't want to, I'm too scared about my lips and they offered it to me and I was sitting there like debating my life and I was like, no, I was like, I don't, and it's free. Like that threw me off. I'm like, are you just practicing on me? Like, what's the deal?
I've watched so many because I just scar really easily. Like all
I mean,
of
it's
my
just she's just going to do a little Botox. Like it's the Botox to freeze the muscle.
the Botox. I thought you meant
Yes.
like the bullhorn, like where they actually cut the skin around the nose.
No, 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 no. They were just trying to throw some Botox. No, and
No, the lip flip. Oh,
lip
the lip
flip.
flip. Yeah.
Yes,
The
and I
lip
was
flip
still
is
like,
like,
I didn't
well,
know.
I've
I
heard that
was,
you like can't drink through a straw anymore. Your lips are like,
and I drink my coffee through a straw every morning so my teeth don't get yellow. So that wouldn't work.
that's smart. I should. No, the lip where like, you know, they cut the skin under the
And
nose and then they pull.
resuture it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that your like lips flip out. And I really wanted to do it and I thought about it, but then like that's permanent. Like you can't undo like pinning your skin and pulling it up. You know, that's one thing you
true.
can't reverse. I'm like,
Can't reverse that at all. You're locked in once you make that decision.
Yeah, and a lot of people had a lot of teeth show. So I'm like, so I just look like a horse probably, you
Yeah.
know, like
And
even for a
girl, my
horse.
teeth are big enough. I don't need no more problems.
Since I've gotten veneers, like my veneers are pretty big. They're
I
like
couldn't
bigger
even
than I want.
tell.
Thank you. Well, if you was in real life, I feel like you can tell more. I really like them and
No.
they're like white and shiny and pretty, but they're pretty big. So I'm like, anything that's gonna draw attention to that, like
Yeah.
let's not, you
That
know?
that's why bigger teeth, they gotta be the whitest because they're out there.
Exactly. They're like I really do I like them because I always had crooked teeth and I did like the Invisalign, the retainers,
Yeah.
and I did them for years and it never worked. So I'm like, fuck, just shave them off. I don't care. So they're like
Where'd
shaved
you
off.
get your veneers at?
Brazil, of course.
You're a Brazil girl. You're all
Brazil
in.
girly. So yeah, and so they literally just shaved off the crooked parts and like slapped the veneers on, and it's been one of the best things I've ever done. I'm like, my teeth look great. I love it.
I love that. And did you come back to Florida right after your procedures, or did you kind of hang out in Brazil for like a week and recover and then come back? What was your recovery process like
I
for the
recovered
procedures?
for like 2 months before going back because his family's here. So we were staying in a hotel for a while close to the place. And then we just stayed with his family for like 2 months because it was nice to recover there because it's hard. Like you don't realize how hard recovery is on your body. I was throwing up. I was having bad reactions to the
Oh,
medication. You're in pain. You're bloated. You can't eat. So you're hungry, but you're not
yeah.
allowed to chew anything. So it's kind of miserable. And you forget how bad recovery is. And then you forget about it. And you're like, I'm gonna have surgery
Do it
again.
again.
I
Yeah.
know. It's like, I guess what happens to moms after they give birth. They're like, I just forgot all about the pain. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
suspicious. Then I got plastic surgery. I'm like, no, that makes sense. It's true.
Yeah.
You're just, I don't
Jazz
even remember the pain.
Jasmine got her full body done. We're talking 360 lipo, arm lipo, breast dog, and a BBL. And I remember taking care of her and she's walking through her apartment. She's like, I'm never doing this again. And then like 6 months later, she's like, so like the rib removal thing, do you think? I'm like, girl,
I
do you
don't
not
know.
remember fighting for your life 6 months ago after you just got your whole body done?
I wish that they would just put you in a medically induced coma, to be honest.
Oh,
And I'm like, just wake me up 6 weeks later. Like, that's how I wish it would, because the recovery is the worst part. I'm like, I would get so skinny. They would be like tube feeding me, and I'd have like no real food for 6 weeks, and
oh
then
my
like
God,
wake
Rachel.
up and be good. So, like, I'm sure somebody out there should offer that. I'm sure Turkey has something like that. Like,
Oh
recover,
gosh.
wake up, you're already like recovered, you're skinny as hell. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh my goodness. Do you have any tips for the girlies thinking about traveling abroad? Any recovery tips or any tips on how to find a doctor? Anything for the girls that are thinking about going to Turkey or Brazil now?
Yeah, you just really have to find people who have really been there. You know, I think that's the biggest thing is make sure you're not just going with a doctor who is showing you pretty photos because anybody can have pretty photos. Like, how do you know that's their surgery?
They're
How do you know
real.
they did that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to talk to real people who actually say that because, and also what was something I wish that I could have done, and there just weren't enough people who had done it for me to know, but try to find somebody who actually has your like nose shape or has kind of your
Yes.
features because sure, somebody who already has a skinny little nose, it's easy to make look perfect. But you know, if you're somebody who your nose is just different, like it's just a different bone structure or shape, it's not going to look like that.
No. And then you're out of surgery and you're like, holy shit, wait, I don't like this. And it's like, girl, because you brought in post-op photos of someone who looks completely different than you, different height, different size, different shape, and it's not attainable. And now you hate yourself and you spend all this money and your mental status is going downhill. And it's like, we preach this. You got to look at photos that are similar to your body shape, your facial shape, your everything.
And not even just like, and even Facetune can mess a lot of people up because it's not going to look like Facetune. Like
I
I
know. I
Facetune my
know.
nose all the time.
Of
Like I
course,
don't
there's a
post
little
the Facetune
cinch, clear the
ones,
skin.
because what I love to do is like when I'm thinking about something, I'll go and like Facetune a photo and like look at the before and after for a while. And I'm like, if I knew my nose would look like the way that I'm like creating my surgery after, I would do it.
Uh-huh.
But that's not how it works, you
There's no
know?
guarantee.
So it doesn't work like that. So I'm just like, some things aren't worth risking. Also, just make sure, like, is it something that you're okay with? Like, do you hate your nose so much that you really do feel like, honestly, anything's going to be better than this? Take it away. Amazing. If you're like, oh, you know what? I really do like it. Like, I just want a little change. Like, I don't want to mess it up. I know, probably don't do it then, if it's that big
Don't
of a
do it.
risk.
Try filler first. And I love
Yeah.
some people try filler to fix
Goodness.
any deformities. And then once you like the filler, then you're like, maybe I can try to find a surgeon who can get me a rhinoplasty that looks somewhat similar to like my filler.
Right. Or they
So
even have, and I don't know if they do that much, but they have like the permanent dermal fillers even sometimes. Now,
yeah,
I know those are probably, they're, I don't know how great they are in the long run, but things like that, if you don't have to do surgery, don't do it. But if you're really
yeah.
crazy about it and you're like, this is the only way, like the filler and Botox are not going to fix this shit, then just
Yeah.
do it.
And there's some things you can't, like your breasts. You can't go to the gym and get breasts overnight. So there's some things like, okay, I get it. You either want them or you
I
don't.
know.
But like stuff
No
with your
amount of
face,
fly presses are going to grow these babies. I've
no.
tried.
But stuff with your face, it's like try to go get maybe some aesthetic procedures first, and then you can see if you like that and tiptoe into actual surgery if your needs are not met.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that too. My husband, as open as he is about plastic surgery and things, the only thing he won't do is his body. Because he's like, look, my face, there's nothing I can do about that. That's just genetics. Like
Yes.
he's very much like, and I was like, well, you could just do like the HD lipo and like you could do all this stuff. And because I love to watch Botched, and there's this guy who does all like he makes his own implants and does like pec implants. I'm like,
Yes.
just do pec. He's like, that's where I draw the line, where he's like, I just won't do that. Now, I won't draw that line. I'm like, honey, suck it all out. I do not care if it's hard work, but he's just like, I want to work for my body, but I can't do anything about my face. So I'm like, you do that with your boiled chicken breast and your sad life. And I'm going to go get the fat sucked out of my arm and wear the same.
My goodness. And has he like, did he get a rhinoplasty or anything, or he just did his jaw? He got a rhino too?
Yeah, he's had 2 rhinoplasties. He still doesn't love his nose. He's contemplating getting a third and those are dangerous too. Cause like once you do it
Once you hit your second rhino though, after that, it's really hard to achieve the look that you desire if you don't have it by the second time.
There's just so much healing that goes into it.
Yes.
And he would have a lot of swelling, and also
scar tissue.
Take like a year to heal anyway.
Yes.
So by the time you're even recovering, it's a long process. So that's the only thing, but everything else, like I think he's so like fucking hot, but like he gets the Botox and like the little lip fillers. And so we do that together, which is nice, but he's not going to do probably any more of like the crazy surgeries. And I'm like, after my reward to myself after I have kids will then be to do like the 360 lipo. Cause I'm like, I'm not going to do it now. Cause if a baby's going to come wreck my body, I don't want to pay for all of it. And then like 3 years later, it's out the window.
My biggest pet peeve, which it's fine if it happens. We listen and we don't judge, but it's like people get snatched. They get their lipo, BBL. These girlies are out here. And then 4 months later, I'm pregnant. I want to strangle them. And it's like, at least have it for a year.
I could never. I would like refuse to get pregnant just to save money.
Yes.
And it's actually like a whole different thing actually, because we've been like wanting to have kids for a while, and that was like my plan, So a part of me was never like thinking about doing the body because we were having like difficulties getting pregnant. And so like that was not like an issue. I'm like, it's fine because I'm going to be pregnant and then I don't really need to work on my body. But at this point, it's like, listen, it's taken a while. So I might as well have been enjoying having a hot body in the process of trying rather than being like,
you wouldn't have known that to start off with. So timing is everything.
I look forward to like the mommy makeover. I'm like, my body will look better after kids than before kids, only because I'm going to snatch myself so fucking much. Take them ribs out, babe. Take out whatever you want. Take them all. I just want to look snatched.
I love that. And your content is amazing. And it all has a mix of beauty and humor, which we don't really see that on social media right now. How has this always been your style? Or do you like people are thriving on it and you're like, okay, I can express myself freely now? Or like, have you always been like this? I love it.
The thing is that the content that does well, and it's one of the pieces that blew up a lot, was like I was being a total bitch in the video. And that's not my personality at all.
No.
But people really liked it. I was like, so then I did another one being kind of a bitch and people liked it. And then I tried to do some nice ones and it like flopped. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Because it's so different because everyone tries to be like this perfect person online and humble and manners and I love everybody and whatever. So when people see like someone being like, damn, like, okay, this is different. She's not, putting on this nice girl persona.
And it's sad in part because I'm like, I wish people knew that that's not really who I am. But at the end of the day, I care about followers more than I care about you knowing who I really am, because anyone who knows me long enough, anyone who gets to know me is going to know that that's not me. But you know
Your
what?
inner
That's what's
circle.
working in the meantime. Shit, that's fine. Because you know
Get
who's
it, girl.
exciting is like on Selling Sunset, I'll be honest. Like, it's never been the same without Christine Quinn. Like, was she a bitch? Of course. But she
But
loved
she
Christelle,
was
love her, and love
icon.
her. But an icon. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I would rather be a bitch, but be remembered.
Yeah.
Be
My
nice, be sweet.
My friend Jay, who's a makeup artist and he does my glam every now and then, he's done a lot of glam for her. And he's like, she is not how she is on TV. She's so nice. She's so kind. She's so funny. Like, you would have never thought, but like, she has to be this whole different persona for reality TV because that's what people are drawn to. That's the views. That's what people like to watch. That's what gets the clicks. Like,
Right. And I
yeah.
think most people, like, with like 2 working brain cells will probably know that if they watch reality TV. And
Most
like,
people don't have 2 working brain cells. Let's start with that.
not even put her up together anywhere back there. It's just all gone because
Especially men, especially these donkey men who are commenting on females' posts or commenting on looks or commenting on gym, anything. It's like, and they're like, Frank from Iowa, 56, commenting. It's like, Frank, go back to your blue collar job. Stop. Go somewhere else. You don't need to be commenting on a 28-year-old's profile. Like, I get the internet is open for discussion. What we put out there, people have the right to comment on everything. But it's like if you're a normal person with like any type of brain capacity, you're not going to comment half the shit that you comment.
or just self-awareness. Like, I'm not sorry. And is this mean? Probably. But if Frank was a 10 out of 10, you know what? There's some leeway, perhaps. There's not, but fine. You know, listen, Frank is ugly as fuck, a troll under the bridge. Frank has no self-awareness. You're ugly. So I hate that. Like, I have so many people who will comment and I look at their profile and I'm like, I just want to fucking say something.
Or
because
what kills me is they comment something nasty and then you go to the profile and in the bio it's like peace, love, and happiness, live, pray, love, or some Bible verse, or
no, it's always like John 3:16. I'm like, does Jesus know what you do? Does he? Because if you read the Bible, Jesus doesn't really like people like you. So I'm not really sure.
We're going to send your comment straight to Jesus himself.
No, I was just talking to Jesus and he agrees with me. You're a bitch. Seek therapy. Thanks, bitch.
I've seen that when I was scrolling through comments. Everyone's like, she's delusional. Seek therapy. This and this. Like, how do you deal with the trolls and the judgment and people who are just like people see one person say get therapy and then they like follow with that. It's like a snowball effect. Like, what do you do? How are you handling that? Because I would literally go crazy.
At first, I totally did. And then you just start looking at their profiles and you're like, oh, they're ugly. So I don't care. Because there's never hot people commenting that. I promise you, go through. Anyone who's saying anything mean about me, they ain't cute. But anyone, now if somebody hot tells me something like that, listen, I'll probably take into consideration.
Yes.
But if you are by all standards and means and anyone with self-awareness not hot, I don't care. You think, well, would I rather look like you? No, I'm good. That's okay.
Yes.
So keep commenting.
Rachel's mouth to God's ears.
I know.
I can't say that because I'm going to sound crazy, but...
Well, because it's your field of work. So if you were to say that, they would be like, she's just trying to get people to get Botox. And be like, yeah, bitch, I am because you need it. But you can't say that. So people like me can say it because I don't have any skin in the game. So it's
There you go. There you go. I love that. Man, but yeah, like, do you ever turn off your comments or do you block certain words or is it just like free for all? You're like, whatever. A comment is a comment and I'm going to keep it pushing.
No, I love it when people comment because it boosts the algorithm. Like, obviously, the things that I post on purpose are meant to be clickbait. Like, unfortunately, that's how the game goes. And so
that's
a
the
lot
game.
of it is meant to, and that's what people don't understand. The stupid people who comment, it's like, you're just doing what I want you to do.
To do.
Great for me.
Like
but
little puppets.
Good for you. Exactly. You're like,
yeah.
No, and honestly, my husband and I will just like lay in bed together at night and we just like laugh at the comments we get. It's like our bonding. Like, oh my gosh, somebody said that I look like a gorilla. Ha 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 ha. You know, we'll just like laugh at that stuff together because again, it's not hot people saying it. It's ugly people. So we laugh at their profile. We laugh at what they look like. And then we go to bed and we have a great night.
So to anyone who is listening, if you comment something nasty on anyone's profile, that means you're ugly. Okay, so if you don't want to be ugly, don't comment nasty things on people's profiles. If you don't like it, guess what? You keep it pushing.
Because hot people are too busy being hot to care what you do.
Love that. Yes.
But people who ain't got a lot going on in their life have plenty of time
Depressed
to analyze what you
Depressed
do.
Debbie down in Mississippi, who has nothing to do, is the type of person that will comment on people's posts.
But here's the thing. I know it sounds mean because the thing is, I get it because I can't imagine what it would be like to be honestly that sad. Like I joke about it and I laugh about it, but I do feel sad for them. And they tell me to get therapy. I'm like, to be honest, I know someone who could use a little Prozac. Let me tell you, you might be a little less Debbie Downer.
And, we're laughing about it, but people who are commenting nasty stuff online, honestly, most of the time don't like themselves, don't like their jobs, don't like their lives. And it is really sad. When you really think about it, you're like, damn, that person is just negative. Their life probably sucks. They find no joy. The only joy that they find is bringing other people's down. It's really sad when you think about it, but it's like, oh man.
Yeah, but I don't like to think about it. So I'm just like, you're ugly. But also, you don't have to be, because if you were a good person, let that light shine. Because what I found in people, and probably for myself too, is the people that are the happiest are the people that I think look the most beautiful, because they're just it's something that you can't buy. Botox isn't going to buy you happiness. Of course not. We're paralyzing our muscles. We're not meant to look like we're filled with joy. But people who are genuinely the most happy are the people who are the most beautiful. So listen, if there is a better time for a sponsorship from BetterHelp, listen up, because
yes.
I mean, really, if you're feeling like that and you're feeling the propensity to comment on somebody's post, maybe take that propensity and go text a therapist.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they should pay me 10 grand right now for that spot. Because I'm telling you, if people would just, instead of writing nasty comments, would text a therapist, a friend, Jesus, anyone, you'll feel a lot better.
I feel like a lot of people who are commenting nasty stuff online, it's either really young and immature or older people, older women, older men who are just not in our culture and not in our, don't understand we're millennials, right? Understand us and what we're doing and content and sarcasm. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. It's not like, our people our age. We get it. It's the older and the very younger and immature kids commenting all this nasty stuff for the most part.
Yeah, I was talking to a woman, bless her heart. She's in her 60s, and she was saying I was DMing Kris Jenner and telling her about her facelift. I'm like, you were doing what? She's like, yeah, I was DMing Kris Jenner. She's like, I was DMing Trump too.
Do you think Kris Jenner has the time to? Her probably doesn't even manage her own DMs. So what are you doing? Her assistant is handing her a martini in her Birkin and going through her DMs for her to see if there's any scandals.
It's I think the age gap unawareness of
for sure.
People don't read those. But she's like, yeah, I sent so many to try. She's listing the celebrities she sent them to. And I'm like, are you waiting on responses from those? She's like, well, nobody's answered me yet. I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to answer you.
No.
But that's
it's like the old people, the 60-year-olds getting catfished by AI. How many videos my grandmother sends me, and I'm like, Grandma, because I put her on TikTok and she watches all my videos, and I'm like, Grandma, this is AI, artificial intelligence, Grandma. It's fake. It's fake.
Gosh.
She's like, but it looks so, girl, put the phone down.
I know. Somebody go get her meds.
Seriously.
Yeah, I get it. It's cute. It's either the really old people, really young people. But at the end of the day, who cares about people in general? You're the only person that you should really care about. And that's all I really care about is what I look like in the mirror to myself. I don't care if I look like uncanny valley to other people. That's fine. You don't have to look at me all day. I do. So just do whatever makes you happy in the mirror.
Yeah. And what's one thing that you've learned throughout your whole transformational journey that has stuck with you?
I think that what I used to feel a lot is that I really was a people pleaser. I always wanted to make everybody happy. You're afraid of saying certain, and not even getting certain plastic surgery, but you're afraid of saying certain things in front of certain people because you're like, oh, that's not going to land right because I'm with this group of people. And then you're a totally different person with other people. And I've just learned you're never going to soothe everybody.
Can't please everybody.
It's impossible. So I've just learned to say the things. Of course, there's a limit, right? There's cruelty. And I never believe in cruelty.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I never believe in cruelty. But as long as you are being who you are, I don't care if people love it or hate it. I think that's just part of getting older. Like you're not trying to impress
Definitely.
your peers and you're not, living off of social validation. You're like, I live my own life very independent of anybody else. So I think just, don't put on, you shouldn't feel like you're going to put on a facade for some people, not for others. Just say what you believe. And if people don't like it, you probably wouldn't want to be friends with them anyway.
Definitely. Definitely. It's such good advice. And what is next for you with your brand, with social media? Anything on? Any future procedures, content coming out? Anything?
Well, there's actually something super, super exciting coming out next month. I can't say anything about it yet. I wish I could. I've literally been like trying to keep my mouth shut for like a year and it's been so fucking hard. But we'll always update on what it is next month. But
yeah.
the only thing I'm going to be doing next is getting these puppies. So next time you see me, hopefully I'll look a little more awake, but that's it. And then I'm done, which I always say, just my lips, and then I'm done.
And then I'm done. And then
I'm done. And then that's just my eyes. And then I'm done. So as of now, that's all I have on the books, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, I hope your turkey trip goes great. I'm sure it will. And I hope you love your lift and everything and can't wait for the updates. And I can't wait to see what happens next month, what's in your back pocket. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, I honestly am just I have such a big ass mouth that it's been so hard for me to like pretend this thing that's like happening doesn't exist. And so it's been really hard, but it'll be cool. All will be revealed. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing my Botox, doing my fillers, and then, we'll
and
find
drink your water at least.
You know what? That's the one thing I'm working on. That's my goal this year. I'm like, I'll drink it if it's mixed with anything else, like Tang.
Just throw some Tang collagen in there. You'll be straight.
Yes, just some Tang collagen. It was so fun talking with you. And you're so lucky because you're like absolutely gorgeous. Like there's some people like who, because you can like get work done, but like you're still at the end of the day, like you're only working with what you got. You're like absolutely stunning. So you are very, very, very lucky.
Thank you so much. You're a sweet soul. I appreciate you. I hope everyone listening was laughing the whole time and getting so much insight. And you're amazing. And I love your humor. You need to go do stand-up plastic surgery comedy tours or something. Or you just need to do comedy tours in general because you're an icon. You're a funny icon. I love it.
You're sweet.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week to All Things Plastics podcast. On our Instagram, we'll link Rachel and you guys can go find her social media platform and see all of her great content and her hilarious reels about plastic surgery. And if you have any questions for her, you guys can go ahead and message her. But we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.